Hi everyone, it's Wednesday once again. Let's do some tutorial. These are the supplies that you will need. I have my own hand-dyed yarn that I'm using. This is made of wool. It's number 4 medium weight. So I am using the knitting needle number 6. And to start with, we have to cast on 48 stitches. Casting on 48 stitches. So we are doing the knit cross stitch headband or a turban. It's an easy project. It's a beginner friendly and it takes no time. I think my project I finished in half an hour. So cast on. I used the long tail method cast on here. And I have a tutorial that I released Tuesday on how to cast on using the long tail method. So this is what I am doing right now. So this pattern is a 4 rows repeat pattern. It's an easy project. So 4 rows that you have to repeat again and again, and mostly it's just knitting and some purling that you alternate with knitting. I will put under the description box, I will put the written pattern. So it's just a repeat. You don't even need like a PDF for the pattern. So here I am knitting. I am doing a knit row. And this is the first row pattern that you repeat. So using the circular needle, knitting needle, is much easier because your project will finish up in no time. Just make sure that you use your stitch marker as what I have there. So the second round is also knit 1 in each and every stitch around. So knit 1 in each and every stitch around until you come to the end. So we are coming to a close on this second round, and then when we reach the marker, we will start with the third round. So 48 stitches in all, and the stitch marker moves over to the working yarn, to the working needle I mean. So number 3 round calls for an alternate with knit 1 and purl 1. So you do that on alternate method. So knit 1 first and then purl the second stitch. So that is the pattern for the third round. Knit 1, purl 1. Knit 1 and purl 1. And if you need to learn how to do the purl stitching, I also had posted a video on I think Friday, where I showed you in a slow motion, in a slow manner, on how to purl your stitches. Okay, so this is a very easy round also. It's alternate knitting and purling. So we are coming closer to the end of the third row, and then we can start the fourth row, which is the last of the repeat pattern. So I'm finishing off my stitches for the third row or third round, and this is the last stitch that I do. Okay, and then the stitch marker moves over to the other needle, and we are ready to do the fourth round, which is all knit 1 to each and every stitch around. So again, the fourth round calls for another knit in every stitch, knit 1 in every stitch around. So there you have it. That's the 4 repeat row patterns. It's very easy. Knit, 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 and then purling. It's on the third round that you alternate with knitting stitches. So I recommend also that you use a counter, just so that you will know which round you are in. I use the counter just because I don't want to be confused as to which round I am in or which round I am working on. But anyway, the pattern is an easy one. First 1, 2 rows or rounds calls for knitting. It's only the third round that you will alternate 1 knit and 1 purl stitches around, and the fourth row or round is again knitting all around. So it's an easy repeat project. So we are coming close to finish the 4th round. We're getting closer to the marker. Okay, so there you have it. Now we will just be repeating the 4 rounds over and over until you reach the length of 18 inches. To me, that is enough to like cover my head. 18 inches is quite enough to make your project into rounds. So, but it depends on how your head measures. So it's definitely advisable that you measure your head before closing. And so definitely you will need a counter to keep track of which round you are in, so as not to make any mistakes, and to save your time also, to just keep going with your project instead of like going back because you made a mistake on which round that you are working on. So that's definitely something that you have to do. So as you can see here, my project is getting longer. The width of my project is about 6 inches wide. And you'll be working in rounds. So this is a very easy project, and it takes no time to finish it. So just keep knitting. Remember to really know which round you are working on, so you will not make any mistakes. So just keep doing. It's kind of boring when you are like really a pro in knitting, but for beginners, you will definitely be a pro in knitting after this project. If you are a total beginner in knitting, again, I posted the basics in knitting. I posted on Tuesday of this week on how to cast on using the long tail method. You might want to review that video that I have. Repeat it again and again for you to be able to know the basics in knitting. And if you have any comments, please write write them down below the description box for this. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe. And every week, maybe once or twice a week, I will be putting out tutorials. And my tutorials are always simple and easy to follow. Hopefully you will like my channel, and you will keep coming back for more and more. And let's go back to doing this project. Keep knitting. And if you are interested in this yarn that I'm using, I hand dyed this yarn, and it's worsted 100% Italian wool, and it's so soft in the hands. I made use of some natural products in dyeing this one. I have some in my store. If you are interested, I can also put the link down below so you can check out my hand-dyed yarns that I have. So again, you have to remember that you want to make the length of your project up to 18 inches long, and the width of my project is about 6 inches. I will be showing it to you towards the end of this video. And again, the pattern calls for 4 rows or 4 rounds repeat. First 1 and 2 rounds are knit 1 in each and every stitch. And then the third round is an alternate between knit 1 and purl 1. And then the fourth and final round is also calling you to knit 1 in each and every stitch on that round. And remember, we have 48 stitches in all, and the length that we are targeting is approximately 18 inches. And I highly recommend that you measure your head circumference. Each individual, we have different sizes in our head circumference. So to be sure and to be absolutely sure of the length of your, the width of your head circumference, you have to measure your head every now and then, or before you do this project, so you would know as to how as to the circumference of your head. So here I am trying to check how long my project is now. I'm getting close to the finish line. I'm at 10 inches, so that means I still have to continue on with knitting. So the length of my project again is 18 inches, and the width is about 6 inches. And remember to review the basics in knitting. If you don't know how to knit yet, or if you're very new to knitting, that video tutorial will really help you. It's a short one. The first one of the basics in knitting I released yesterday, Tuesday, and it's on the casting on using the long tail method. And the one that I will be releasing on Friday is about the knitting stitch, which is also a very basic knitting stitch. And this headband, you can also wear this as an ear warmer because of the wool of the yarn. So it will really give you that warmth when you use it as an ear warmer during this winter months, the cold weather. Okay, so this is the length of my project at this time. Okay, so I'm at like if you stretch it, it's like reaching 18 inches. And then the width, as I said, is about 6 inches wide. I still have a few yards left in my yarn. So now we will be casting off. Okay, so you can review the tutorial that I posted last Tuesday on how to cast on. And this here is casting off. So it's just using, the principle is almost the same. It's still just like knitting. The only thing, it's like you're doing it in reverse now. So you are casting off. Okay, so you should have like 2 stitches in your needle on the right, or your working needle. It gets tight as a few stitches remain on your needle. So you just have to really be patient and make sure that your yarns will not be falling off your needles. So we have a few remaining stitches to cast off. And then we can cut off the working yarn and do our final sewing, twisting the band to have that kind of cross stitch headband or turban. And the last one here. So you are done. You can set aside your knitting needles and then leave at least 12 to 18 inches, I would say, of yarn, so to help you finishing up the project. Okay. There you go. You end up like that. And this is my final headband or turban. So all we have to do now, use the darning needle and then we fold it. We bring both ends to the center like this. Just straighten it out, and then once you determine which side will be the interior and exterior, you can fold the edges into half and then sandwich them together. That's what I am doing here, is to sandwich them together and just like back stitching to close the folds. Remember, you have to pick up the 4 layers of your fabric or of your yarn. So align them that they are straight, and that you pick up the 4 layers when you are sewing. So bring it back and forth to make sure that you capture all the 4 layers. So doing this method will give you the cross stitch technique that you want to twist your headband. To just keep going back and forth, making sure that you catch all the 4 layers of the yarn, of the fabric. And doing so again will create the twist that you want in your turban, in your headband, or the ear warmer. I use it more as an ear warmer, especially in the morning when I have to go to work. I usually leave the house like really early, so like it's still really cold. So this one really saves my ear from like being frosted. So if you are new to my channel, please remember to subscribe. And to all those who had been with me from my initial tutorial, thank you for hanging around. So this one now is giving us a twisted look already. So just the edges now that you also have to do back stitching. I hope that you like the tutorial, and if you have any comments, any suggestions, please write it on the description box below. And hopefully you are able to get some tips in knitting, and that you were able to learn something new today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate you being around. So still back stitching on one more side, and then we can close the ends of our yarns that are still hanging. Okay, so turn your work inside out, and this will be the outside of your turban or ear warmer with the twist. So there you have it, the twist. So again, my final project is about 18 inches long and 6 inches in width. So this is now folded and ready to use, and if we measure it, it comes to that measurement. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.